I've been thinking about my health a lot lately, and I had a conversation yesterday with my coach, actually, not a fitness coach, not my wellness coach, but my visibility challenge coach, who is the one that has inspired me to get on here and just talk daily, Renee Coakley, and I'll talk a little bit more about her. But we were talking about how to effectively come up with titles and topics, and she was asking me what's going on with my life, and she is just amazing, and she came up with all these titles that I can just get on and talk about. And my health, not really my health, but my age and my health were a topic that she said would be a great conversation. And so I thought I would jump on today and talk a little more about that. Because one of the things that I do, I just came in from walking. Well, not just came in from walking. It was hours ago. I've been on the phone running my mouth. But I went for a walk. I go for a walk pretty much every day now. Like, it is a part of the routine. It is a part of my habit. And she was just asking me, like, what are you doing? Because you look so good as far as my age, being 49. And that just rolls off my tongue because it is what it is. I'm 49. I'll be 50 in less than a year. And she asked me, she said, are you open to talking about that? And I'm like, yeah, I have no problem with it. Like, I can't wait to turn 50 because, baby, I earned this. I earned every bit of this wisdom. I earned every bit of this age. And I know that so many women, so many people tend to not feel comfortable or confident with I call it maturing. That's my nice way of saying aging, and nothing's wrong with that. But I think it's a blessing in so many ways, even with things that we have endured or overcome or gone through. And she told me, she said, girl, you are like the epitome of you don't look like what you've gone through, because I shared with her how I have overcome homelessness, how I have overcome domestic violence, how I have overcome sexual assault, how I have overcome divorce, how I have overcome stalking, being stalked, how I have overcome mental health obstacles, PTSD, extreme PTSD is what I'm told, and severe anxiety, or no, it was severe PTSD and extreme anxiety, just so many things, right? And she's like, the fact that, I still exude this glow and just this joy and just look the way that I do. She's like, what are you doing? Like, share with the girlies. What are your routines? And, I told her, I said, initially, I don't really have any routines that I do to keep looking good. I said, I go to Jesus, I go to God. That's where I get my glow from. I spend a lot of time with the Lord. I spend time in prayer. I spend time in a relationship with Him. But then as I was walking this morning, it occurred to me, yes, you do. You do have some routines that you're consistent with. Just because they're not every day doesn't mean that they're not my routine, but it is my go-to. So I wanted to share some of those things with you and just kind of start this journey on talking about how I keep myself glowing and going at 49. And one of my wellness routines that I absolutely love and live for is I do cold plunge. I do sauna and cold plunge interchangeably. Probably at least, 2019. I was going to say, when did my son have his car accident? It was in 2019. So about 6 years ago, I did cryotherapy. And cryotherapy, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's where you go into these zones of freezing temperatures to help your body drop. Your body temperature drops, but then when you come out, the blood flow is restored, and it helps to encourage and promote extreme healing. That's the long story short of it. But I did that for the first time in support of my son, who had a car accident and some surgery and therapy, and they said it would help expedite his healing process. A lot of athletes do it. And so It was extremely cold, but I enjoyed it because I felt the difference immediately. And so that first put me on the journey to cryo healing. So, and then, and I'll do that. I used to do it consistently, probably about once a week, but then moving around and, budget and things like that in life, I got away from it. But I probably do it now. I try to do it at least once a year when I can remember, but I'm working it back into my wellness routine. But the other thing that I do that I really love, I don't know what is with me with the cold. I like it. I don't like it when I first get in there. It is cold, but it's almost, I don't want to use the word addicting, but I like to do it repeatedly, and it has these benefits to it. So I do cold plunge, and cold plunge, for those of you that don't know, is where you get into a cold, it could be an ice bath, or if it's an electronic or digitally set for the thermostat or the temperature, it is ice cold, freezing water. And you get in there and you sit in that. I'll be honest, I don't know. All this stuff varies depending on your health, because I'll tell you a little story if I have time on how that can impact health. But I have sat successfully in the cold plunge for up to 5 minutes, and you have to work up to that. I used to just get in and I would get right back out, and then I'd get in and get right back out. And I just started working myself up to it. And the same thing for cryotherapy, I think, is about 5 minutes. So you do the cold plunge because it has the same healing properties with your body. And then I will do sauna, and you can alternate sauna. We know sauna, you can do infrared. I don't mind infrared sauna. It's good for you because it kind of has the red light therapy, which is something else I do. I'll talk about that in a second as well. But I do the sauna, and I prefer just the hot water over the rocks, the steam, the natural sauna, because what that does is it has cleansing, it draws out all the impurities, and it makes you sweat, and it helps you just to detox naturally. And so you can do those individually. I do those individually, but if they're ever both in the same vicinity, then I will alternate those because it's good for the body as well. And then red light therapy, which has become really, really popular. I do red light therapy, but a word to the wise and a caution and disclaimer on red light therapy. Do your research. I can't remember it right now. I should have had the numbers together, but red light therapy for us, for Black women, African American women, brown skinned women, melanated women, you cannot just throw any red light on your skin, because if it's not the right frequency, it can actually be damaging to your skin, and it can cause scarring, and it can cause burns, and it can actually have an adverse effect. Red light therapy helps with healing under the skin surface levels. Supposedly helps with like fine lines and wrinkles. I don't have any. I didn't have any before I started. I don't have any now, but it helps with, it's an anti-aging, but it also does with those blood cells and things like that. It is really helpful, but you have to, I will find, and I'll put in the description actually the frequency that you have to have for red light therapy as a Black or a brown skinned woman, because again, you don't want to damage what you're trying to help to heal. So red light therapy I do, and I drink lots of water. I have been recently traveling to these pure natural fresh mineral water springs, so I don't even drink bottled water or tap water or anything like that anymore. If I can't get it from the springs, then I don't want it. Eating clean, that's a very fine line. I try to eat a lot of fruit and veggies and healthy stuff, but I'm very low to no sugars and things like that. I don't eat a lot of fried foods, low to no. And these are just things that are natural over my life. So I think that attributes to this look. My biggest thing is just rest. I get rest. There's a difference between sleeping and there's a difference between resting. And resting isn't always just laying down or sitting down. It's allowing your nervous system just to really rest and really heal and let your body go into homeostasis. So I actually do have a whole channel about health and wellness. Duh. I need to point you guys to that. I'll put it in the details and comments below. So I'll talk about this a little more because apparently there's a whole lot to it. So tell me what you want to know about health and wellness. And if you're a woman that is 49 plus, tell me a little bit about your journey. All right.